Fellow SoFi shareholders, I know we're in a lot of pain right now, some of us more than others, but so is the whole market, or as we'll refer to in this video, the tide. One of the things that help us deal with pain is knowing why it's happening. So in this video, we're gonna go over 3 key causes of SoFi and the market as a whole crashing. As Charlie Munger would say, sometimes the tide is with us and sometimes against, but we keep swimming either way. Have we reached the bottom? Fundamentally, SoFi keeps crushing records on earnings and growth prospects, but the market, aka the tide, is going in the complete opposite direction. If any of you have tried to swim against the tide at the beach, you would know how much more energy it takes to go against it. Hopefully, this video will help some of you sleep better at night. Before we crack into it, we're not financial advisors, and this is not financial advice, so always do your own due diligence. Also, for you hardcore SoFi investors out there that are absolutely getting thrashed, don't panic. The doors to our SoFi-focused Patreon are still open. Since we recently changed the status to our SoFi Investors Facebook group to private, joining the Patreon will get you instant approval to the group if you're not in already. Not to mention access to the SoFi private Discord chat and real-time SoFi updates. The doors should be closing soon if they aren't already, so be sure to check that out. Link in the description and top pinned comment. Key reason number 1, inflation scare. It seems the higher the gas price goes, the lower SoFi stock price gets. Portfolios are down, gas is up, and everyone's freaking the out. Most of us know the skyrocketing price of gasoline is because the persistent conflict faced by one of the world's top gasoline producers, aka the gas plug, Russia. And we could even say that it's the world's largest gas exporter. The last thing Putin needs to worry about is gasoline, since he's got his trusty stallion with more horsepower than anyone can handle. Inflation has actually been at sky-high levels for a while though, slowly eating into your buying power. However, it gets a lot more real when the government actually acknowledges it. But why exactly does inflation matter? And what does this have to do with SoFi and the market? Inflation this year reached a 40-year all-time high at 8.5%. Forbes says that rising rates on interest-bearing accounts cause more competition between banks. Why? Because the neobanking/fintech industry was born in a low-interest environment, focusing on innovative benefits from low or even zero-fee services to attract customers. But here's the catch. Rising rates also means a possible plunge in spending. Not only that, but due to the buying power of money going down, you have to take into consideration the value of companies' future revenues actually being lower than they seem. But this isn't a problem only companies will face, but everyone. Got a 2% raise at your job? Well, inflation is around 8%, so technically you just lost 6% buying power. The same goes for companies. Your revenue is up 30 to 50%? Well, not exactly with that 8% inflation looming in the background. The reason why this has such a drastic effect on stocks is this affects the risk-reward ratio of companies. All of these factors combine to create a whirlpool of uncertainty and lower upsides, which the market does not like in the least. And not only that, tech stocks haven't been doing too hot right now. Reason number 2, lowered revenue guidance. Line up your tequila shots and put on your party hats as we celebrate the long overdue student loan repayments for turning 2 years old this month. Not only is everyone trying to dodge these new variants coming out, 43 million Americans can once again dodge their federal student loans without additional interest until August 31. Since SoFi is fighting tooth and nail to be the one-stop shop that everyone wants, the student loans are actually 1 out of 3 best-of-breed products SoFi has in the lending segment, aka its biggest source of revenue. But the good news is, this student loan moratorium forces SoFi to diversify its products and services. So, it's no surprise that a lot of shorts are taking advantage of this news because student loans seem to be playing a huge role in SoFi. At this rate, SoFi is now expecting nothing from student loan repayment this year, adjusting their net revenue for full year 2022 to $1.47 billion, a reduction from the previous $1.57 billion guidance. And its adjusted EBITDA is now $100 million instead of a whopping $180 million. Reason number 3. Shorts are having a good time right now. And the bears? The last time we checked, the shorts were responsible for around 21.43% of the float, amounting to about 129.8 million shares. The shorts have been grinding, raising SoFi's short interest 1.1% since the previous record. On top of that, Benzinga just revealed that someone took a bearish stance on SoFi and it spotted 15 option trades for SoFi, one put amounting to $58,500 and 14 calls amounting to about $1.3 million. Let's bring it all in, Sofian soldiers and trench warriors.
We are at war, gentlemen.
SoFi may be in the dumps right now, and we've been here in the trenches for so long, but after this, you could start telling people,
"You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it."
After all, stripes aren't just given out for free, they're earned in the trenches. Forbes even said, no one, not even the legacy banks, know exactly what to do in this modern inflationary environment. During uncertain times like this, we believe the younger, leaner, more agile fintechs have the advantage over legacy banks due to the fact that they can adapt much quicker. The opponents may be bigger, but these young fintechs are significantly more agile and thus more easily able to adapt to the ever-changing environment. On top of that, the student loans are just a minor part of SoFi's biggest driver of revenue, aka the lending segment. Here's an actual clip of SoFi CEO Anthony Noto.
Don't worry, you're in good hands.
What sort of triggered your desire to talk about this?
Yeah, first, full disclosure, SoFi is in the business of student loans, so we get impacted by this indecision. But that's not the motivation. SoFi is going to be fine either way. We had record revenue in the third quarter. We had record revenue again in the fourth quarter. We achieved over $1 billion of revenue in all of 2021 and our first full year of profitability on an EBITDA basis, all while the federal student loan program has been on hold.
Despite getting rocked by the shorts, bears, and the tide, SoFi, the company, is still standing strong with the key leaders in the market. Institutions hold almost half of SoFi, around 46.39% at the time of recording this. So even institutions have been earning their stripes here in the Sofian trenches. You know what they say?
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Shout out to everyone who showed support in our previous video. We're right here holding with you. Also, a special shout out to everyone in our Patreon. You guys truly help to make these videos possible, and we really appreciate all the support. We'll do our absolute best to provide the most value possible. Shout out to Arthur Magazu, Wei Chu, Pietro Serra, Daniel Corbett, Jordan Worth, Casey Patel, Jeff Sherman, John, and Gregory Villar. That wraps it up for today's video, ladies and gents. Are you buying more SoFi? If you got any value from this video whatsoever, please smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Until next time, peace.